This is Halloween in Shanghai. You may see Jesus or Buddha. You may be Marvel's Deadpool, Spider-Man, or DC's Batman. Or even Donald J. Trump. But in front of the Shanghai police force, you're powerless. Police this year in Shanghai have been strictly enforcing costume rules. Sure, you can still wear a costume, put makeup on, but any moment they deem your costume is politically sensitive or that it's something that's going to provoke some sort of a thinking within the people, the crowds, well then you're taken away. Some are told to remove their makeup in the police stations.
洋洋被抓了，
这简直是危言耸听，让我们卸完妆才准走，甚至还要扒下我们的洋。接受不了光秃秃的样子，落荒而逃了。跑完，明天还来。
Others are sent to a nearby hotel for a temporary detention until the night is over. Before we get started, if you're interested in supporting China Insider, consider supporting us with a donation. This is going to help us push out better programs, buy some camera gears, and just in general be able to cover some of the expenses for the show. So consider checking out the donation link in the description. And also, if you haven't subscribed already, make sure to subscribe and also turn on the notification bell so that you never miss any of our new China Insider content. Now, you might be asking, why is Halloween so sensitive in China, this Western holiday? Well, apparently since last year's Shanghai Halloween, the authorities have ramped up their control and censorship, fearing something out of control that's going to happen again. Last year, when the lockdown orders were lifted in China, the first Halloween since 3 years of lockdown, young people in Shanghai expressed their frustration with the regime by donning some very politically sensitive costumes, gathering in large crowds. And you know the CCP hates it when anytime there's a large crowd gathering, something of influence comes out of it. And in particularly in Shanghai, they also went through the white paper protest, which was again started by young people. And this massive movement has extended into that year's Halloween. So this year, the cops made sure that people weren't going to mess it up for the regime again. Last year, they had costumes like Winnie the Pooh, COVID guards, COVID tests, the Red Guards from the Mao Cultural Revolution, Batman, and much more. Now to be outdone, this year, despite all of these extra orders, the martial law for the night, police presence, barricades, and empty streets, corner-to-corner surveillance from day to night, people still came out with their unique costumes. We have Lady Liberty, we have Stalin and Lenin, we have different ghosts, we have the konjac spicy snacks, mental asylum patient. This one is from Shanghai. And then this other video here, I don't know if they're mental asylum patients or just regular patients at a hospital, is from another city. We have the Huawei triple fold, Deadpool, Buddha, Jesus, Batman, Spider-Man, Trump, surveillance camera, The Purge, harmful wastes, and of course, Kim Kardashian. Ahead of this Halloween gathering, police were already on the ground. Two of the most popular streets that last year's Halloween took place on were closed off from costume donning people. And so basically what happened was everyone started to move into a nearby park called Zhongshan Park. And that's where it kind of, all the people started to gather. But just in general in the city of Shanghai, over the last few days, police have been on this overclocked search mission. They found these white guys visiting, and they thought that they could possibly be cosplays. They found an actual mascot in front of this restaurant and peeked inside because they thought that might be somebody inside. They also, had people who dressed as the emperor, the empress, and the concubines. And of course, you can't insinuate emperor status in China either. Like I said, when they gathered in Zhongshan Park, that's where we saw some of the costumes, and then also you had people dancing and singing. And then also you had situations like this where in this video the man is saying how he bought a mental asylum costume online and the police called him and they said that we know that you bought this online, don't wear it out because it's going to cause a negative impact. That's pretty crazy if you think about it. They know exactly what you bought online. Now, of course, the CCP and its CCP propagandists, the shells, they still claim that no, the authorities are not shutting down Halloween. You can still wear a costume. It's for your safety because, the police have to be on the ground. They have to search everybody behind the mask to see if they're troublemakers or criminals. And that's really a lie because, well, if it was really truly for your safety, then the videos we saw that the people they're taking away don't look like criminals. In fact, they look like the most peaceful people at the crowds, and yet they're the ones who are being taken away. So excuses, excuses, excuses. Because if you really think about it, why, if you really allowed Halloween as it is, why do you need a heavy police presence, right? Why are you removing all of these politically sensitive costumes? That itself is already a piece of censorship, right? And then, clearly you see and you care, I'm talking about the regime that is, most of these aren't, really political costumes, except maybe Lady Liberty, because, you can't have freedom, can't have liberty in China. What about Kim Kardashian, right? This costume, well, her along with Lady Liberty were both shipped away in a police van. We really showed those imperialist Americans this time, right? Even Chinese celebrities lookalikes are not allowed here. So this one, the woman cosplaying as Fan Bingbing, a very famous celebrity from China, but very blacklisted right now. Last year there was a Jay Chou lookalike. He was also taken away as well. Now, if we really just think about the broader picture, Halloween has nothing associated to protest, right? Not in any sort of connection can we make other than the fact that last year it sort of became one in China. But if the government continues to crack down on costumes, turning it essentially what is normally a commercial Western holiday into one that is just, it's almost like they're overdoing the censorship, which really makes people kind of mad and ticked off. And I think that's why people are rebelling, especially young people. The more that they put the effort into banning or preventing people or putting in the martial law, I think the more it's going to backfire. The wearing the costume, going out onto the street, that itself became a form of protest. So after the park's entry was closed to public, other places are also closed to the public, people moved on to the streets. The actions that we see from the police and the reactions we see from the people in Shanghai, I think the best thing or I guess you could say the best outcome of this entire event is that people in Shanghai show their disdain with the fact that this is such an unreasonable control measure in place, right? They declared martial law. They called into bars days ahead of this and said that you can't allow anybody wearing a costume inside your bars. They called into universities telling students not to dress up, all of these things, right? They put these barricades up. Well, you know what? Today, people found out that, yes, you can defy their orders because they're very unreasonable to begin with. Now, why did people come out? Well, I think one of the reasons why people changed is because they can no longer control crowds with just physical and verbal threats, right? Because, one or two people getting arrested, that no longer scares people. And I think that's a bigger shift, right? It's one that's been happening for the past few years now. Even though they took the old costume people away, the new ones kept coming in. It's like they know that the consequence is there, but they still put on the makeup, put on the clothes to go out. At the end of the day, if you really think about it, in a country that's ruled by absolute control, any little form of shift, right? Any little form of difference is a form of protest. Because everything has been tipped from the balance of what is considered normal already. And so apparently no costumes anymore because, well, those things can also be considered a revolution. All right, that's it today for the episode on why Shanghai is banning Halloween this year. If you enjoy the content, leave a like, comment below your thoughts, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. And until next time, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.